Certainly is a nice start to our Sunday morning around southern Colorado, but the winds are beginning to pick up now. We take a look at our Ceramic Landscape Materials camera in Fountain, and of course the flag is what we're really focusing on. The flag is starting to move around a little bit now. The winds are listed as calm, but trust me, it hasn't been calm throughout the entire morning. The flag was moving around much more when we last looked at this picture right before the break a couple of minutes ago. 34 degrees is the temperature, so it is a bit cooler, which will help those firefighters down at Fort Carson, which of course is on the backside of this camera view later on this afternoon. Skycast wind speeds, though, are expected to pick up as we go through the day. You notice that by noon, we're already sitting in the 10+ mile/per-hour neighborhood. This is the sustained wind as well. This is not the gusts. Their gusts will be higher than this, higher than the number that you see on your screen right now. 12 miles per hour, the Springs 11 in Canyon City, 10 in Pueblo. Everyone gets above 10 miles per hour as we go through 3 o'clock this afternoon. Springs will be sitting at 15 miles per hour. Again, sustained. There could be gusts as high as 20 and 25 miles per hour. The winds will be out of the south-southeast today, so if that's the case, then you'll see the smoke from that fire, if it does flare back up, blown away from the city of Colorado Springs, unlike yesterday where the winds blew it into the town. So that's one difference that we'll see today versus yesterday. We will see those winds begin to taper off as we go through the Sunday evening into early Monday morning. That's not unusual. You tend to lose the winds as you lose the heating of the day. The winds are being created by a bit of that mixing in the atmosphere. The sunshine, of course, shining through some rather gusty winds at the middle levels of the atmosphere. That brings it closer down to the surface. 48 is your high today in the Springs, 52 in Canyon City, 53 in Pueblo. Middle 50s in Salida, middle 50s also in the Plains, 54 for La Junta, 55 in Lamar, 30s and 40s with some lower 50s around up in the high country. Skyscan satellite and radar, we were tracking a little bit of snow north of I-70, but for the most part, we're not seeing too much in the way of any kind of snow at this point. We're seeing just a few clouds around. That will be the case as we go through the early portion of our Skycast as well. But things will be changing as we go through our Sunday afternoon into our Sunday evening. First, there's a possibility for some snow again along I-70 as we go through our early Monday morning, even later on this evening. That'll perhaps delay us a little bit as we head home from the ski resorts. On Monday afternoon, things really begin to go downhill as we begin to pick up a chance for rain and snow along into the west of I-25. The bulk of what we see at this point will be falling in the wet form, not the wintry form, but there will be a transition over to snow as we go through our Monday evening into our early Tuesday morning. So bottom line, showers today gives way to showers tomorrow, exclamation point, as we go through our Monday into our early Tuesday. You notice the snow continues all the way through Tuesday morning. And Skycast has some rather impressive snow totals attached to it. Let's take a look at what the Skycast is predicting now. Now, I think the totals won't be quite as high as what you see here on your screen. Why? Because I think the bulk of what we see early on will fall in the wet form, not the wintry form as I was talking about earlier on. So while there could be decent amounts of snow in the high country, especially places like the Wets and Sangres, we're going to see much less than we would if we had an all-snow event like we sometimes see this time of the year. Decent amounts of snow being predicted in Kim and Pritchett, but again, I think the totals are somewhat less than you see on your screen. 7-day forecast for the Springs. First 3 days are sitting in the mid to upper 40s at first, then it's middle 30s as the temperatures fall off behind the next system that comes into the region, and of course that rain and snow chances there as well. Then readings rebound for the last 4 days, upper 40s and eventually upper 50s as we end off the 7-day forecast. Lower to middle 50s in Pueblo, then it's upper 30s on Tuesday. Temperatures then make their way into the upper 50s to middle 60s as we end things off. Lows are sitting in the teens and 20s in both the Steel City and in Colorado Springs. Canyon City, our temperature is sitting in the lower to middle 50s for the first 2 days, and it's upper 30s on day 3, which of course is next Tuesday. Readings then rebound upper 50s and lower 60s as we end things off. Lows are in the 20s across the board. In Teller County, it's middle 40s as we go through our Sunday, Monday. Then Tuesday's temperatures are back in the middle 20s. 26 the best we'll be able to do. Snow sticks around for a day or two, the snow that we see around the region, because we're going to see temperatures on the chilly side at first, especially on the morning end, where readings are sitting in the lower to middle teens. Highs then rebound upper 40s to right around 50 by next Friday and Saturday. We are going to see a messy morning commute on Tuesday, regardless of how much snow falls, because it will be at least wet, even if the amounts of snow are a little bit less because the precipitation starts out as rain.
Right. All right. Well, that will help out with our dry conditions at least.
That's true, it will.
All right, Jay. Thanks so much. Time now 8:50.